right now, you are listening to my voice.
Yep.
But I'm not in the room with you. My voice has been recorded, converted into invisible digital zeros and ones, and beamed out to a satellite orbiting the Earth.
Which is pretty crazy when you really think about it.
It is. And then it's decoded by a tiny glass rectangle in your pocket. And it all happens in, like, milliseconds.
Yeah, we just call it everyday life.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But if you explain this to someone 100 years ago, they would have called it witchcraft.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it really is a kind of modern magic. And because we use it every single day, we just stop noticing how incredible it actually is.
Right. We just take it for granted.
We do. And that is exactly what we are going to explore today. We're going to unpack this massive topic of technology.
And since we know many of you are listening to this deep dive to practice your English, we're going to keep things clear and accessible.
Yes, we are going slow, taking our time, and keeping the language very natural.
I love that. We're going to make this complex world very approachable for you. We're going to trace the journey from the simplest physical tools to invisible networks.
Figure out how things like artificial intelligence actually work, too.
Yeah, and look at the real psychological impact of all these screens. And you definitely want to stick around, because later we're going to explain why simply changing one specific setting on your phone is the ultimate hack for learning a new language.
It is such a good tip.
But to understand all the complex stuff, we have to start at the absolute beginning.
Right.
So what does the word technology actually mean?
Well, it's a word that sounds intimidating, right?
Yeah, for sure.
It makes you think of glowing computer servers or, scientists in white lab coats.
Exactly, like advanced math or something.
Right. But at its core, the definition is surprisingly simple. Technology is just anything human beings make to solve a problem.
Or just make life easier, I guess.
Exactly. That's it. It is pure problem solving.
Okay, so if I have two pieces of wood and my problem is that I need to stick them together, a hammer and a nail are technology.
They absolutely are. A hammer is a perfect piece of early technology.
Really? Just a hammer?
Yeah. I mean, it's solid, you hold it in your hand, and you can literally see the physics of it working.
Right. You swing your arm, the metal head hits the nail, and the problem is solved.
Exactly. But here is the limitation of the hammer. It's what you might call a task-specific tool.
Meaning it only does one thing.
Right. You can't use a hammer to cook soup.
No, that would be terrible soup.
And you definitely can't use it to send a letter, which is why the leap to modern digital technology is just so mind-blowing.
Because we've moved from a box full of single-use tools to, well, the ultimate multi-tool.
The smartphone.
Yeah, the smartphone.
It completely changed our relationship with tools. Instead of being task-specific, it is context-specific.
Wait, what do you mean by context-specific?
Well, think about what a phone actually is physically. It's just a blank, smooth piece of glass and metal.
Right. It doesn't look like anything.
Exactly. But the moment you open an application, that blank slate transforms into whatever you need it to be in that context.
Oh, I see. You open a messaging app, and suddenly that piece of glass is a post office.
Exactly. Instantly sending a letter across the globe.
And then you open another app, and it replaces a bulky, heavy camera.
Right. You can take a high-definition video of your cat or your lunch without carrying around extra gear.
Or you can just listen to music on the bus.
Huh.
And let's look at how it solves the problem of navigating the world.
Oh, GPS.
Yeah. It used to be that you had to keep a giant, confusing paper map folded up in your car.
And you could never fold it back the right way.
Never. But now, you just use GPS. But do we ever stop to think about how GPS actually works?
Usually, no. We just type in the address and wait for the robot voice to say, turn left.
Right, but the mechanism behind it is incredible. Your tiny phone is actually communicating with multiple satellites floating in space.
Just casually talking to space.
Yeah. It measures exactly how long it takes for a signal to travel from space to your pocket.
Wow.
And by triangulating those signals, it calculates your exact position on planet Earth. Also, you can find a good coffee shop.
That is wild to think about. We've taken an entire room full of heavy equipment. A telephone, a stereo system, a camera, a stack of maps, a typewriter, and just compressed it down into a tiny rectangle.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
But having these powerful devices in our pockets is only the first step, right?
Right. The real shift happened when we figured out how to connect all of them together.
Yes.
Yeah.
Moving from individual tools to a massive connected network. the internet.
Or, as it was originally called, the World Wide Web.
Which is such a descriptive name when you think about it. It's a massive ocean of human knowledge.
It really
It's
is.
even changed how we speak. We don't say, I am going to search the database for that information.
No, we use a brand name as a verb.
Right. We just say, Google it.
Yeah. If you want to know how tall the Eiffel Tower is or how to cook spaghetti, the answer is in your hand in 1 second.
And that instant connectivity hasn't just changed how we find facts.
No, it has fundamentally restructured society.
Like remote work, for example.
Exactly. For decades, the rule was that you had to travel to a specific physical building and office to do your job.
Right, you were tied to a desk.
But now, because laptops and the internet act as a sort of global nervous system, you have the freedom to work from a local cafe, a library, or even another country.
Okay, I have to push back a little here.
Oh.
Yeah, I hear you on the freedom and the endless information. It sounds great.
What?
But let's be honest. If we are so hyper-connected to millions of people all over the world, why do I feel so isolated sometimes?
That is a very fair question.
Like, why does staring at my phone make me feel exhausted instead of energized?
Well, that is the ultimate paradox of the internet, and it's a very real danger. We casually call it screen time, but what we're really talking about is visual and cognitive overload.
Cognitive overload, so too much for the brain to handle.
Exactly. When you scroll through social media, the screen is flashing new colors, new faces, and new information at you every half second.
And there's a specific mechanism behind that, right? The infinite scroll.
Yes, the infinite scroll. In the past, when you read a newspaper or a book, you eventually reach the bottom of the page.
Or the end of the chapter.
Right. There was a natural stopping point, a physical end.
But social media doesn't have that.
No. Social media platforms use hidden computer rules, which we call algorithms, designed specifically to remove those stopping points.
Oh, so as soon as you finish a video, another one starts immediately.
Exactly. It tricks your brain into staying engaged, which literally physically drains your eyes and your mental energy.
It definitely drains my energy.
Yeah.
And it leads to that sad, lonely picture we see all the time now.
Which one?
You know, you're sitting at a dinner table with your friends, but nobody is talking to each other.
Oh, yeah. Everyone's head is tilted down.
Right. Everyone is just staring at the glowing rectangle in their hands. We use the tool to connect with people far away, but we totally ignore the people sitting right next to us.
It's true. It pulls us out of physical reality.
Mm-hmm.
And there is another major pitfall to this instant global connection.
What's that?
The spread of fake news.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Because anyone can publish anything online, right?
Exactly. In the past, publishing information was expensive and slow. You had to print a physical newspaper or broadcast a television show.
Which meant there were editors, people checking the facts before they went out.
Yes. Now, a lie can be typed on a phone and shared with 5 million people in 10 minutes.
Wow.
It completely bypasses traditional fact-checking.
Which means the responsibility falls entirely on us, the readers.
Exactly. We have to be the editors now.
We really have to use our critical thinking.
Yeah.
And constantly ask, who wrote this?
Right. Is this actually true?
Or is it just designed to make me angry so I keep clicking?
Yes, it requires a lot of mental discipline. Because technology is neutral, it's just a tool. We have to actively choose to balance our lives. We have to know when to put the phone down and live in the real world.
So true. Okay, so we've networked all these devices together with the internet, creating this massive ocean of human data.
Yeah.
But having all that data is useless if you can't make sense of it.
Which brings us to the next evolution.
Right. We aren't just connecting machines anymore. We're teaching them how to find patterns in that ocean. We're talking about artificial intelligence.
AI.
AI.
This is the technology that dominates the news right now, and honestly, it's the one that makes people the most nervous.
Well, it sounds terrifying. People usually describe AI as a robot brain that's going to wake up and take over the world.
Yeah, that's a very popular sci-fi image, but it's not really how AI works.
Okay, so how should we think about it?
It's much more helpful to think of AI not as a human brain, but as a hyperspeed librarian.
A hyperspeed librarian. Okay, break that down for me.
Let's take a fun example from the source material.
Yeah.
Say you ask an AI program to write a creative birthday poem for your friend. The AI isn't sitting there feeling creative. It doesn't have emotions.
Right, it's just code.
What it does have is access to millions and millions of poems that humans have already written.
Ah, I see.
It scans all of them in a fraction of a second, finds the mathematical patterns of how words fit together to sound poetic, and then it simply predicts which word should logically come next.
Oh, wow. So it's essentially very advanced pattern matching.
Exactly.
That makes so much more sense. It's not thinking, it's predicting.
Yes. And when you realize it's just predicting patterns, the fear of robots taking our jobs changes a bit.
Yeah, it feels less like a monster and more like a tool.
Right. Yes, it will change how we work, but the positive potential is massive. Think about medicine.
Oh, like using AI to find diseases.
Exactly. Medical AI is a perfect example of pattern matching saving lives.
How does he do that?
Well, a human doctor might look at thousands of X-rays in their entire career, but an AI can scan 10 million X-rays in an hour.
10 million.
Yeah. So it can spot the tiny, invisible pattern of a disease long before a human eye ever could.
That's incredible. And we are seeing these smart predictive tools in our daily lives, too.
Like smart homes.
Yes, smart homes. I have to admit, it feels incredibly luxurious, maybe even a little lazy, to walk into my living room and just say, turn on the lights, and the computer just does it.
It's peak convenience. But the biggest leap in this predictive technology is happening out on our roads.
Oh, boy.
The shift toward electric and self-driving cars.
Okay, here is where my skepticism kicks in again.
I figured it might.
I can understand a computer writing a poem or turning on a light bulb, but trusting a computer to drive a car at 60 miles an hour.
It's a big step.
What if a cat runs across the road and the car gets totally confused? The real world is messy and unpredictable.
That is a very valid fear. But let's look at the mechanism of how these cars actually see the world.
Okay.
They don't just have regular cameras. They use something called LiDAR, along with some really complex radar sensors.
Wait, what is LiDAR? What does it do?
It basically bounces invisible lasers off every object around the car millions of times a second.
Millions of times.
Yes. And it builds a perfect 360-degree, three-dimensional map of the environment.
Oh, wow.
So it doesn't just see a flat image of a cat. It calculates the cat's exact size, speed, and trajectory instantly.
Okay, that is way better than human eyes.
And the most important part, the technology isn't static.
What do you mean?
Every time one self-driving car makes a mistake or encounters a new situation, it learns from it and instantly updates the software for every other car in the entire network.
They're constantly iterating and improving together.
Exactly. Unlike a human driver who gets tired or distracted by their phone, the car's sensors are paying perfect attention in every direction all the time.
It's a massive shift in how we move through the world.
It really is.
All right, so we talked about these huge global technologies, the internet, AI, self-driving cars.
The big stuff.
Right. But if we bring it back down to a personal level, our absolute favorite pieces of tech are usually the ones that help us control our immediate personal space.
Yes. Technology as a tool for curating your own reality.
Ooh, I like that phrase.
A great example of this from our source is a pair of noise-canceling headphones.
Oh, I love my noise-canceling headphones. They are absolute magic.
Yay.
You put them on, flip a switch, and suddenly the loud traffic outside or the noisy neighbors completely disappear. You're just in this private, quiet space.
But how do they actually do that? Because they aren't just thick pieces of foam blocking the sound, right?
No, the mechanism is fascinating. It's called active noise cancellation.
Okay.
So sound travels through the air in invisible waves. What these headphones do is use tiny microphones to listen to the exact shape of the sound wave coming from the traffic outside.
Okay, so it hears the traffic noise.
Yeah.
Then what?
Then, in a fraction of a second, the headphones create a new sound wave that is the exact opposite, like the mirror image of the traffic noise.
Oh.
And when you crash those two opposite waves together, they literally cancel each other out. They flatten the wave.
And the result is pure silence.
Exactly. That is incredible. We are using physics to literally erase sound from the air so we can focus.
And that kind of practical magic exists in how we read, too.
Oh, like e-readers?
Yeah, like the Kindle. If you love books, you used to have to pack a separate, heavy suitcase just to bring enough reading material on a long trip.
Oh, I remember doing that. It was the worst.
Now, you carry a lightweight screen that holds thousands of books. It completely removes physical friction.
It really does.
And this brings us to a really important application of everything we've talked about today, especially for you, our listener.
Yes.
If you are learning English, these personal technologies are the greatest tools ever invented.
Absolutely. The barriers to learning a language used to be huge.
You had to buy expensive textbooks or literally move to another country.
But now, your phone gives you direct access to the language.
There are highly effective apps like Duolingo or Memrise, designed specifically for language learning. They turn studying into a daily habit.
And you can watch YouTube videos in English on any subject you can imagine.
And of course, you can listen to deep dives like this one.
Yes, exactly. The beautiful thing about audio is that it's a secondary activity. You don't have to sit at a desk with a pen.
No, you can absorb the language while you are cooking dinner, folding laundry, or just taking a walk.
But as promised, there is one specific tip we want to share that is incredibly simple and incredibly brilliant.
Yes. If you want a real breakthrough in your language learning, go into your smartphone right now and change the system language setting to English.
Just the system language, it sounds so minor. Why is that such a powerful hack?
It's all about the cognitive power of immersion and context.
Right.
Think about it. How many times a day do you look at your phone? 50, 100.
Honestly, probably more than I want to admit.
Exactly. And every single time you look at it, you will see English words. You will see the word settings, the word messages, the word camera. But the key is that you already have the muscle memory for what those buttons do. You already know how to navigate your phone.
Right. I don't need a dictionary to know what the camera icon does. So my brain automatically matches the new English word to an action I already deeply understand.
Precisely. You aren't just memorizing a boring vocabulary list. You are interacting with the language in a functional, repetitive way.
That makes so much sense.
It creates effortless cognitive mapping. You are forcing your brain to process English just to go about your normal daily life.
That is such a smart way to use the tool to your advantage rather than letting the tool use you.
Definitely.
So we've journeyed from the physical hammer to the smartphone to the global internet and into the predictive world of AI and self-driving cars.
We've covered a lot of ground.
We really have. So let's look forward for a minute. Considering that just a century ago, the idea of video calling someone across the ocean seemed completely impossible.
Right.
What impossible things are we dreaming up next?
Well, according to the source material, there are two big concepts that researchers are really dreaming about.
Ooh, what's the first one?
The first is the ultimate communication tool, a universal real-time translation machine.
Wait, like an earpiece you just wear as you walk around?
Exactly. Imagine standing in a market in Tokyo. The vendor speaks to you in Japanese, but the earpiece instantly parses the syntax and grammar and plays it into your ear in perfect English.
That sounds like magic.
And when you reply in English, it speaks Japanese back to the vendor.
That would fundamentally change humanity. I mean, the language barrier is one of the oldest divisions in human history.
It really is.
Removing it means the world truly becomes one big connected family. That is a beautiful dream.
It is.
What's the second dream technology?
The second one is a bit more science fiction, but it's the ultimate solution to travel. Teleportation.
Oh, like in Star Trek.
Yeah.
Beam me up.
Yeah. Exactly. The idea of completely removing the physical friction of distance. You step into a box in London, your physical matter is broken down, transmitted as data, and reassembled in Tokyo 1 second later.
Wow.
No more long airplanes, no more heavy suitcases.
Okay, I have to be honest. Converting my physical body into digital data sounds a little too intense for me right now.
Yeah, it's a little scary.
But then again, if you told someone in the year 1800 that we would one day fly through the sky in giant metal tubes while watching movies on screens, they would have thought you were crazy.
That's a great point. Human curiosity just never stops. We are always looking for the next problem to solve.
And I think that's the main takeaway today. From the hammer to the universal translator, technology is just a manifestation of human problem solving.
It is.
It's a tool. And the most empowering thing you can remember is that you are the boss of the tool.
Exactly. Don't let the phone use you, you use the phone.
You get to decide how it fits into your life. You can use it to learn English, to connect with a friend, to explore the world. But you also have the power to turn it off.
Very true.
Which brings us to our final thought for today. We want to leave you with a question to ponder on your own.
Based on the closing prompt from our source today.
Yes. Think about the one piece of everyday technology that you feel you absolutely cannot live without. Maybe it's your smartphone, your laptop, or your noise-canceling headphones.
Pick your favorite.
Now, imagine a scenario where it simply vanished tomorrow. You couldn't replace it. How would your daily routine physically change? What would you be forced to do differently? And if you're being completely honest with yourself, is it possible that you might actually be a little bit happier without it?